Hey everybody, it's Chris Lote here. In this screencast, I'm going to show you a technique that you can use for doing some digital art on Microsoft Word. I am on my computer, so on my laptop computer, and I am using the Microsoft Word app that is on the computer. And what I've done is I've taken a photo. I've got a photo of a dog here, and I copied and pasted that photo onto just a blank document on Word. And what I'm doing is I am using a mosaic technique where you can take shapes and recreate the photo of the dog with those shapes in a mosaic style. And I'll just show you what I've done so far. So I'm going to click the photo of the dog and I'm going to delete it. And you can see that so far what I have is a bunch of shapes for the tongue and the nose and the eyes, and sort of similar to the colors of the dog. So one thing you can do while you're going through this is you can remove the photo in the background just to see your progress. Anyways, I'm going to then use Command Z, which is undo. You can also go up to Edit and Undo, but I go Command Z just to for quicker undoing. So here's my photo, and you can see, as you can see, I've done the tongue and the nose and the eyes, and I'm going to work on the white part in the cheeks of the dog here. What I did was I created a bunch of triangles that were similar to the shade of white that is in the cheek of the dog, and I just copied and pasted a bunch of these triangles, so I have multiple triangles that I can use. And of course I can resize and reshape these in any way. I can also, you see this little yellow handle allows me to change the angles of the shape as well, or I guess the shape of the triangle. Anyways, I'm going to drag this over here, and I'm going to put it down in this corner. And you can see when you have a shape, there's a little rotate button here. So I'm going to rotate this, and then I'm going to slide this triangle right in here. And it's pretty close to it's pretty close in the shade or the color of the cheek. So I'm going to put another one in here. Now I don't know if I'm going to a little more of a score. Well, actually, I'll just drag this one in here. Let's see what happens. Now, you can see it's not overly easy to see, so there's a couple of things we can do. Number one, I'm going to go down into the bottom right-hand corner here, and I'm going to increase the magnification. So I'm going to zoom in. And zooming in allows me to see these shapes and the picture in a lot more detail. So I'm going to rotate my picture here and put that there. I'm going to make it a bit larger, of course. And there we go. So now I've got a few more shapes that I can drag over there. I'll drag this one over and put it in here. I'm going to rotate it. Now this part's a little more sort of white, so I'd like to capture that color. And this is one of the really neat parts about many apps, including Microsoft Word. If I click on my shape, I go over here to the Format Shape panel, and I've got the tabs for I guess this is the fill and line tab, and I have, just so you know, I have no line on any of these shapes. You could put a solid line, and in fact you could do a solid black line that would give it that true mosaic feel to it, but I left that out. But one thing I want to show you here is I want this color to be a little more representative of the lighter white. So I'm going to click over here where it says underneath fill. I've got a solid fill, and there's the paint bucket. I'm going to click the paint bucket. Now I could navigate through all of these colors. Maybe there won't be one that's perfect, so you can always go down here to where it says more colors. And in the more colors panel, I can drag it over here. I can drag this around. You can see there's all kinds of different options for the colors. Up here at the top, there's the sort of a grayscale or RGB slider. I could do that, play around with that. But the easiest way, I'm not going to mess around with these. The easiest way is to use the little eyedropper. And the eyedropper, what that's going to do is that is going to duplicate a color on the screen. So I click the eyedropper, and now I'm in eyedropper mode, and you can see as I'm moving that circle, I'm going to move it over right about here. This is the color that I want, a lighter white. And I click that, and then I say OK. And that will duplicate the color that is right there inside the triangle. So now I have that exact color, and I might want to duplicate this shape as well. And if I want to do that, I can go over here to this, and underneath recent colors, I've got that. I think that's the last color. Yeah, that's the last color, lighter color that I use. So I'm going to click that one. So I'm going to use this this color for a little more filling in here. So I'm going to copy and paste that triangle. I used Command C and Command V. If people, or if you get, or students get used to using Command Copy, Cut, and Paste, this goes much quicker, of course. So I'm going to reshape this and move it over. This is going to be a little tricky. Anyways, I'm going to leave that right. Maybe I'll move that up. You get the idea, is that you can just add shapes here. I'm going to slide this over. So this is where I'm going to change the position of the vertex. Now, one thing, some people say, oh, this is really hard to see. What you could do is you could just change it to a totally different color, move it into place, and maybe change that vertex a little bit more. Or maybe make this a little bit wider here, this part here. This is a little bit tricky. This is where fiddling around with the shape kind of comes into play. Maybe rotate it a little bit. Maybe right about there, move it down a bit. And then I can just always go back to that previous color. Click that. So there we go. All right, so there you have how to manage the different colors of the shapes that you can add to this piece of Mosaic digital art. All right, well, take care and have a great day.